Okay, this is the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6 hawks say this is the spot. I'll just give you a quick little view where I'm at before I sit back in the car, because it's so windy. I'm just worried about being heard. Alright, I'll do the panorama. Okay. Thank you. Oh, wow. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where are they? Yeah. I don't know if they're going to let me all get them all into view at the same time here. I don't know if you can hear them, but they're singing. Thank you so much for bringing me to this spot. Okay. My name is Mike, and I am out here wheeling and heeling in the Snake River Valley here in southern Washington. Maybe near Pullman, or Lewiston, Idaho's the other way, Colfax, somewhere down here. Walla Walla and Tri-Cities are way down river that way. But let me get this put back up in here. I'm in my adventure van today. Camped out last night and camping out tonight. Feels really good to be out here with the campfire and the fresh air next to the water and the breeze and the trees and all the cool things. All right, so thank you for tuning in if you are. I don't know who all watches these things, but I am just getting on today because I've had a hell of a week. Hell of a couple weeks, hell of a month, hell of a year. Haven't we all? Since the beginning of 2020. I think things have just been at an all-time high crazy for all of us, but the last week, couple weeks, I've just been having intense triggers and constantly triggered over just things that I wish I wouldn't be. And you know, I'm learning that I've acquired all sorts of bypassing techniques, you know, judging myself for feeling things that I'm feeling or things that I'm thinking or things that I want to or feel I need to express because my mind tells me that it's bad for this or wrong for that reason, you know. And I don't know. That's why I had to really come back out here and just put myself back into nature, because this is where I kind of am able to feel everything and get a different perspective, you know, merge with the trees and the mountains and get to see things from their perspective a little bit. And I'm not going to go in too much about the things that have been triggering me other than the signs. You know, I try to pay attention to consistencies and synchronicities and such, and you know, when things happen 2 times and 3 times, you know, it's definitely a message for us to pay attention. And so I am realizing that a lot of the triggers are around similar things. And if it boils all the way down to the root of it, I think that there's 2 things primarily that I either don't feel safe or I don't feel welcome. But I mean, that comes out in such a number of ways. And one of them being that I freaked out on my roommate's kid recently over, I'll talk way more about money just because it's such a big thing that I've been trying to overcome and heal within myself, my thoughts and beliefs around money and reactions around money and such. But for a moment, I thought that there was maybe a chance that some money was stolen. And of course, when the situation cooled off and, my logical mind said he didn't steal it. But in that moment, everything was so, now I think and feel like it's delusional, and that's me judging it. But in those moments, it's so freaking real, and seeing things a certain way and tunnel scope, on a situation, and just, whatever it is, I had something in my head and I freaked out and I couldn't let it go. And the more that I tried to, the more it just like bubbled up and brewed up inside me, and I freaked out. And that's not really what I want to talk about so much, because I could talk about many other situations that I've been triggered and reacted not a way that I really wanted to, or treated people a way that I didn't really want to, or as good as I wanted to. But what I want to talk about right now, I guess, is more or less the reaction time, because there's always this point of time between when something happens, whether it's an event that actually, something that happened, or somebody says something, whatever that trigger point is. For me, I'm realizing that it seems like no time at all from the time I get triggered to the time I'm just going 150 miles an hour with it in whatever direction my mind thinks I need to in that moment. And by the time I realize what's going on and be like, oh crap, I need to take some deep breaths, I need to go for a walk, I need to get out of this situation right now and maybe come back to it later. And then, so what happens is, at that point I will separate and I'll go take my walk, and I'll go sit by the water and I'll take a bunch of deep breaths. And what happens is my perspective starts to expand and I start to see everything from a higher point of view again. And I'm just like, feel like this small, and treated everyone around me even smaller. And at least I'm able to see that. And then I'm able to kind of like, because I come back and I apologize, and I'm able to redirect it usually and help the situation, improve it in some way, or at least know that I need to avoid it. Whatever happens, I just get an insight that helps. But there's that point of time in between the two, the triggered and then the realizing, when I'm already revved up and going and have already done something I regret, or said something I wish I hadn't, or whatever the case is. And so now it's like, I don't know, I'm just asking for help, asking my angels, and I'm asking Creator, and I'm asking for help for how can I slow down time. It's almost like I get that visual of Neo in the Matrix when he's slowing down those bullets and stopping his reality for a moment, and because I've seen that happen in my own, and I've done that with other things. But everything's a work in progress, right? But that's something I really want to learn how to do, is when I get triggered and I get mad, or I get upset or whatever, usually it comes out as anger, but I want to be able to realize it then, before anything else happens that I have to regret and apologize for later, and separate myself then. And then at least the only thing I have to apologize is that, hey, I'm sorry I had to leave for 15 or 30 minutes, But at least then I'll come back a better version of myself. and readjusted and back online or whatever. So the message that I'm getting, that I got yesterday on my drive down here and getting by the river, was to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Because what am I asking for? That time to slow down in between the trigger and the reaction point. So I guess, I don't know if I was like hoping something out there in the universe would do it for me, but that's the message that I'm getting from God, is that to do it myself. Consciously slow down everything else. Maybe if I'm struggling slowing down in those moments, to like think about what I want to say and really like make sure that I am being myself right now and be present and slow down in those moments. I got to do it everywhere else first, in the places that I can. Meaning everything. If I can drive a little slower or walk a little slower or talk a little slower or do things, whatever I'm doing, do it a little slower. Do it a little more mindful. Do it a little more aware, a little more present. And this is tough for me. I hear the message clearly in my heart and in my mind. And I'm just like, oh, okay, show me how then. You know, and the other part is slow down and relax. Because I get so tense and so, I'm just a walking pressure boiler or something. I don't know what to call it, but I'm so wound up and so tense and so just like pressurized and ready to just blow at any moment, that it doesn't take much. And I've known that for a while, and I've said that for a while to other people before I became aware of many other things around this but I've said for a while that I don't know or remember how to relax. I don't know how to do it, but I feel like a past version of me did. People used to tell me I was like the chillest person that they knew years ago. That was a long time ago. But I don't know how to do that anymore. And, all these places that I go and all these drives that I go on and stuff, and these beautiful scenic areas that, people come out to recreate and get away. I do come back recharged and reset somewhat. I mean, I know I get a refresh, but, it's just been a long time. And I don't know, my mind's associating it with waking up rested also as refreshed and reset. Like you go out to nature or go to somewhere new, and like, I just get this idea that maybe you'll sleep better than normal or something, being in a fresh area. And I'm always in a fresh area. And my sleep's always out of whack, and I'm always waking up still tired or whatever. And I'm given the energy to get through the day, but that being rested or being able to relax, I think it's the same thing. I think it's just because something in me is so wound up and going a million miles an hour all the time, or just so pressurized and ready to just burst, that I don't know. And so I'm setting the intention now to slow down and relax. And this morning, for the first time ever, I actually I did. I knew that I was here in this area for 2 nights, and there's not a lot of areas to go explore. It's beautiful, and I can sit in any one area for a while and look at rocks and wait for the cows or the deer to come out. I mean, there's life. It's fun. But there's just not a lot of trails to hike or a lot of roads to explore or something. So when I woke up today, that probably helped. But whether I have something to do or not in the morning, I'm always like looking for something to do, and what's next, just go, and like, it's like a freight train, just doesn't ever stop. And So this morning, it was nice. I felt like I heard the wind rustling the leaves, and like, when the wind would pick up and slow down, and how it would ruffle the water, and just all these little things that I began to notice, being much more in the moment. And I don't know, I felt the lump in my stomach and kind of focused on it as I was breathing really deep, sitting next to the water. And after about 15-20 minutes, that seemed to go away for a little bit, and it was just nice, really nice. And so, even though it was temporary, it showed me that I can do it. I just need to take a lot of effort to do it. And so that's where my focus is going to be for a while, and that's my intention, is to retrain myself how to slow down and relax no matter what's going on. And I mean, if I can't slow down and relax in my moments of peace and bliss and out here in nature where it's just, where it should be easy, then I don't have a chance in hell in the moments surrounded by people or with a person or whatever it is. And like, I feel like the walls are closing in on me, and my mind just, I don't know what happens. I just lose myself in so many ways. And my friend, I hope she doesn't mind, my friend Linda, she talks about this a lot, and she's gone through a lot of similar experiences, but with a much more educated standpoint. So she knows like the big words to call things and stuff. But the stuff that I am able to understand is that when these things happen, we're coming offline, because we're not just one self. We have many, many, many selves. And the more aligned and online together, the more efficient we'll run. And sometimes we get offline, and sometimes, like, out of all these multiple parts of ourselves, one can go offline, and sometimes it's like a train derailing. It's that one, and then it kicks all the others offline too, or some others. And so I don't fully understand all that. I just know that in these moments that I'm offline and online, all of them, I'm going to be focusing on slowing down and relaxing, and hopefully just continually becoming a better version of myself. And and then I'll be able to focus on these other trigger points of not feeling safe or welcome. But at least then, if I can slow down and relax in these moments of triggers, because there's so many other triggers. Like I said, this whole thing that I was kind of referring to was, an argument about money. Well, if it's not an argument about money, or a constant worry about money, or a fear of money, or a hatred of money, I don't know what it is. It's a trigger point too. And I'm not even poor. But I have been before, and I've been in survival mode before for so many parts of my life that I just have so many trigger points around this. But like I said, I'll talk about that more later. Right now, I'm trying to stay on point about slowing down and relaxing. And, wow, yeah. I had a freak out a couple 2 or 3 years ago, and a counselor that I was able to text her. She didn't always answer, but I was always able to she said, feel free to send the text, and if she was available, she would respond no matter the hour, if she was available. And this wasn't too unreasonable, but it was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and I was having a major freak out. And so I was just texting her and talking about it, and she's like, just breathe, calm down, go for a walk, eat something. And I was like, well, I'm trying to eat right now. She's like, that's great. Eat and focus fully on that meal and slow down with it, like with every bite, and feel every bite and taste every bite and smell every bite, and actually, like, try to, if there's multiple ingredients, try to, like, you know, single them out and be grateful for every one of them, and just like these little things that really helped me get into this moment. And that's just now coming back to mind now, because these things, we learn these tricks and tools sometimes, and then we don't use them all the time, and sometimes we forget them. But yeah, so slow down and relax. Slow down and relax. My intention is to slow down and relax. Especially with my kids. My daughter, I would love to be able to slow down and relax more with her. Holy crap, God knows how much I worry about things, and just worries about the past, worries about the fear, worries about anything that takes us out of the present moment. Not slowing down and relaxing makes us unable to connect and be present with people. And yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll probably be working through guilt and shame and stuff around my children for a long time, but it affects my time with them. And with my daughter, it's just, but I don't know. In my mind right now, I'm just seeing all these different situations that slowing down and relaxing might benefit. Anyways, cool. 22 minutes. My last few have been around half an hour or so. I was going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter. And, yeah. At first, I thought I was going to do this video down by the river, since that's like the theme of where I've been lately, and probably where I'll be going periodically throughout the winter here, is along this Snake River basically between Lewiston and Tri-Cities. And it's beautiful down there, and especially right now, because it's like my favorite time of year, like one of my favorite feelings in the world, like that brings that nostalgia and that feel good feeling. I have no idea why, but it's these parks and recreation parks and campgrounds that are like super populated or pretty moderately populated in the busy seasons, so it's spring, summer, but then everything kind of shuts down fall and going into the winter. Everything starts slowing down and relaxing. I like this theme. But everything kind of starts, like a campground. There's no host around. It's been shut down for a couple months, and nothing but wildlife moving back in. But there's this feeling, and it's different than like a business or a place with people. Like a business that's shut down after hours. I mean, maybe some might feel that feeling around that, but that's not quite the same for me. This is outdoors. The further out remote, the better, because that's just how I like it. I prefer the wilderness, and I mean, not too far, as long as there's a hiking trail and a road. But yeah, just that feeling of like people loved this place, and many families, many people just coming in and out, recreating, every part of it, in the water, on the land, in the trees. And then it's just that feeling of they've all went home and back to the city, and now it's just empty and back to nature again. And this feeling of nature, I don't know how to express that. I just get this really good feeling out here. And so, but yeah, I was going to record down there, and it's cool. Where I'm at right now, this is called the Lambie Grade, and I can barely hear it, so I know the phone's not going to be able to pick it up. But right way down here in this gully, this valley, is the Lambie Creek. And so I'm actually camping down at the Lambie Creek campground. And then just a little bit east upriver here is Ilia Landing for boats and such, and the Ilia sand dunes. And apparently it's crazy summertime, like with all the college kids coming out from Pullman or Lewiston and stuff. But right now it's a ghost town and it's beautiful down there, but it was too windy. And I didn't bring my headphones, which I regret, and that's something I need to make a habit of, because those headphones seems to block out the wind pretty well, and I'd be able to record anywhere. But I still wanted to capture a little bit of this energy and this beauty. I mean, it might look kind of brown and tan and boring, but I love it just because it's such a different type of life, you know. But thank you for tuning in with me if you did. Before I lose that 20-minute range, I'm going to go ahead and close out and just wish you infinite love and blessings, whoever you are and wherever you are. And yeah, so here's to my quest for slowing down and relaxing into myself and back to myself and back to the most optimum version of myself. And so it is. Thank you, Creator. I believe it. Yeah, thank you for joining in and wheeling and healing out here, Snake River. I love you all.